As a prostate doctor with over 2 decades of experience, I'm warning you, there are 2 common habits, yes, 2, that many seniors are doing every single day without realizing they're silently enlarging their prostate. And if you're a man over the age of 50, or you love someone who is, then this episode could be one of the most important videos you watch this year. So grab a notepad, settle in, and make sure to hit the like button so more people get this life-saving information. And of course, if you haven't yet, subscribe to Senior Health Tips for new health advice every single week. Before we talk about the 2 habits, we need to understand just how critical the prostate is in a man's body, and why it's one of the most neglected organs when it comes to preventive care. The prostate is a small walnut-sized gland that sits just below the bladder and surrounds the urethra, the tube that carries urine out of the body. While small, it plays a huge role in reproductive health by producing seminal fluid. But here's the thing. As men age, the prostate tends to grow. This condition is called Benign Prostatic Hyperplasia, or BPH. Now, BPH is not prostate cancer, but it can still wreck your quality of life. I've seen men who couldn't sleep through the night because they had to get up 5 or 6 times to urinate. I've treated men whose bladder control became so poor they started avoiding social events or long drives. Some of them even became anxious or depressed, feeling like their independence was slipping away. Here's what's worse. Many seniors accept this as just part of aging, but it's not inevitable, and it's not untreatable. In fact, much of it is preventable, especially when you know what not to do. And that's where our 2 hidden habits come in. Now let me ask you something. Do you find it difficult to start urinating? Do you experience a weak stream or dribbling after you go? Are you running to the bathroom more often, especially at night? Do you feel like you never fully empty your bladder? If you answered yes to any of these, you may already be experiencing the early stages of BPH, even if you haven't been officially diagnosed. Now here's the kicker. Most guys assume this is because they're getting older or maybe drinking too much water before bed. But I can tell you, as a specialist who has helped thousands of men, there are very specific habits that trigger and worsen this condition, often starting in your 40s or 50s and snowballing over time. And no, I'm not talking about alcohol or caffeine, although those play a role. I'm talking about habits that even health-conscious seniors do every day, thinking they're totally harmless. But they're not. They're feeding prostate inflammation. They're encouraging hormonal imbalances. And they're choking off proper urine flow, leading to a swollen, irritated, and enlarged prostate. And here's the thing. These 2 habits are so common, they're practically considered normal. But today we're going to challenge that. So what are these 2 prostate enlarging habits? We'll get to that in just a minute in the next section. But first, let me explain why this matters so much right now in 2025. Here's a fact most people don't know. Over 60% of men over age 60 have some level of BPH. By age 80, that number jumps to over 90%. But something's changed in recent years. As a prostate doctor, I've noticed that men are developing symptoms sooner and more severely than they did a generation ago. Why? Because our lifestyles have changed. Our food has changed. Our hormones are under attack from environmental toxins, plastics, processed foods, sedentary routines, and yes, those 2 habits will reveal shortly. And here's the danger. A constantly enlarged prostate increases pressure on the bladder and urethra, leading to retention, infections, bladder stones, and even kidney damage if left untreated. Not to mention the toll it takes on your sleep, sex life, and dignity. That's why catching these warning signs and making the right changes now, not later, can prevent you from needing medications or surgery down the line. So if you're serious about maintaining your prostate health, if you want to avoid embarrassing accidents or invasive procedures, then listen carefully. These 2 prostate-damaging habits are hiding in plain sight. If you've made it this far, thank you. It means you're someone who truly cares about your long-term health. And if you're finding this video helpful so far, please give it a thumbs up and share it with a friend or family member who may be quietly dealing with prostate symptoms, but too embarrassed to talk about it. All right, welcome back to Senior Health Tips. Now that we've laid the foundation in the introduction about why prostate health is so crucial, it's time to dive right into the heart of the matter. Today, I'm revealing the 2 everyday habits that many seniors unknowingly engage in that contribute directly to enlarging the prostate. These habits create an internal environment that promotes swelling, irritation, and hormonal imbalance, all of which push your prostate into dangerous territory. Habit number 1, chronic sedentary behavior. The first habit is chronic sedentary behavior. If you're like most seniors, chances are you spend a significant amount of time sitting. Whether it's watching television, reading, or just relaxing, prolonged sitting means you're applying constant pressure to your pelvic area. This compression reduces blood flow to the prostate and surrounding tissues, causing inflammation and swelling over time. Blood circulation is key for tissue health and healing. When blood is stagnant, it encourages cellular dysfunction and promotes the accumulation of inflammatory compounds. What happens next is your prostate starts to become congested, with tissue thickening and enlargement that pushes on your bladder and urethra. Beyond just sitting too much, sedentary lifestyles also lead to hormonal imbalances. Physical inactivity lowers your body's production of testosterone and increases levels of estrogen. Elevated estrogen in men has been linked to the development of BPH and prostate enlargement. This is because estrogen can stimulate the growth of prostate cells, tipping the balance towards hypertrophy. Meanwhile, less testosterone means your prostate doesn't get the signals it needs to stay healthy and functional. This imbalance fuels the enlargement process even more. If you want to protect your prostate, the solution is simple but often overlooked. Incorporate regular, moderate physical activity into your daily routine. This doesn't mean you need to run marathons or lift heavy weights. Even just walking for 30 minutes a day helps improve blood circulation, balances hormones, and reduces inflammation. Some studies have shown that men who remain physically active have a significantly lower risk of developing BPH. When you move, you also stimulate your lymphatic system, which helps flush out toxins and reduce fluid buildup around the prostate. Habit number 2, excessive consumption of processed and high-sugar foods. The second habit that enlarges the prostate is excessive consumption of processed and high-sugar foods. This habit may surprise you, but diet plays a major role in prostate health. Foods loaded with refined sugars, unhealthy fats, and artificial additives trigger systemic inflammation in the body. This chronic inflammation doesn't spare your prostate. Instead, it promotes swelling and cellular stress in the prostate gland, making enlargement more likely. Eating a diet high in sugar causes spikes in insulin and blood glucose. Over time, this insulin resistance leads to metabolic syndrome, a condition linked to higher rates of prostate enlargement and other chronic diseases. Insulin resistance increases oxidative stress and inflammation at the cellular level, accelerating prostate tissue damage and growth. Furthermore, unhealthy fats from processed foods disrupt hormone metabolism, leading to increased estrogen and reduced testosterone. This hormonal shift, just like with inactivity, feeds prostate growth. Another key point to understand is how processed foods affect your immune system. Poor diet weakens your body's natural defenses and prevents it from fighting off infections and inflammation effectively. Some researchers have found a connection between chronic low-grade infections in the prostate and BPH. A compromised immune system caused by poor diet allows this infection and inflammation cycle to continue unchecked. To counter this, the best approach is to focus on a nutrient-dense anti-inflammatory diet rich in whole foods. Vegetables, fruits, nuts, seeds, and lean proteins provide antioxidants that protect prostate cells from damage. Healthy fats like omega-3s found in fish and flax seeds help reduce inflammation and balance hormones. Avoid sugary drinks, processed snacks, and fast food as much as possible. If you're serious about shrinking your prostate naturally, this dietary shift is non-negotiable. Interestingly, these two habits, sedentary behavior and poor diet, do not operate in isolation. When combined, they create a perfect storm for prostate enlargement. Lack of exercse plus a high-sugar diet accelerates weight gain and obesity, both of which have been strongly linked to BPH. Excess fat tissue produces more estrogen, fueling prostate cell growth. Obesity also contributes to insulin resistance, inflammation, and poor circulation, all worsening the prostate condition. Now, I want to take a moment to address the role of stress here because it intertwines deeply with these habits. Chronic stress raises cortisol levels, the body's stress hormone, which also disrupts hormone balance and promotes inflammation. Many seniors face social isolation, financial worries, or health anxieties that elevate stress. When combined with inactivity and poor nutrition, this can worsen prostate swelling. Taking steps to reduce stress through mindfulness, social connection, or light physical activity is an important part of prostate health. So, what does this all mean for you? It means you have a lot more control over your prostate health than you might think. You don't have to accept painful symptoms as inevitable. By breaking these two damaging habits and replacing them with prostate-friendly lifestyle choices, you can take charge of your urinary health, your comfort, and your overall well-being. Here's a quick summary. Avoid sitting for hours without moving. Get up, stretch, and walk regularly. Cut down on processed foods and sugar, and choose whole, nutrient-rich foods instead. Add simple exercises like walking, gentle yoga, or swimming to your daily routine. Manage stress with relaxation techniques or hobbies you enjoy. By doing these, you are tackling the root causes of prostate enlargement, not just the symptoms. This approach has been supported by numerous clinical studies. Research consistently shows that men who maintain an active lifestyle and eat a balanced diet have smaller prostate volumes, fewer urinary symptoms, and a reduced risk of BPH complications. In fact, some studies have observed actual reduction in prostate size following lifestyle modifications alone. It's powerful proof that you can influence this condition naturally. Before we finish this section, let me remind you that no two bodies are exactly alike. It's important to work with your healthcare provider to monitor your prostate health regularly, especially if you experience symptoms. Sometimes medications or other treatments are necessary, but they are often more effective and better tolerated when combined with healthy lifestyle changes. If you found this information eye-opening so far, please make sure to like this video, subscribe to Senior Health Tips, and share it with someone who could benefit from understanding how their everyday habits impact prostate health. All right, seniors, we've covered a lot today. How chronic sitting and poor diet can silently cause your prostate to enlarge, creating discomfort, urinary issues, and lowering your quality of life. Now it's time to wrap this up with some actionable, practical steps you can start taking right away to protect your prostate health and even begin reversing some of the damage caused by these habits. First, let's reinforce the importance of moving your body regularly. This is by far one of the simplest, yet most powerful habits you can build. If you're used to sitting for long periods, set a timer to remind yourself to stand up and walk around every 30 to 45 minutes. Even a few minutes of gentle stretching or walking across the room makes a huge difference in improving pelvic circulation and preventing blood stagnation that leads to prostate inflammation. If possible, aim for at least 30 minutes of moderate activity each day. This doesn't need to be intense or exhausting. It can be as simple as a brisk walk around your neighborhood, gentle yoga, swimming, or light gardening. These activities help regulate your hormones, reduce inflammation, and boost your immune system's ability to keep your prostate healthy. Consider incorporating pelvic floor exercises, often called Kegel exercises, into your routine. These help strengthen the muscles that support your bladder and prostate, improving urinary control and reducing symptoms like urgency or leakage associated with an enlarged prostate. If you're unsure how to perform these exercises correctly, talk to your healthcare provider or look for guided videos specifically designed for seniors. Finally, I want to emphasize that prostate enlargement is common, but not inevitable. You don't have to accept discomfort and loss of quality of life as just part of aging. Your daily habits have an enormous impact on how your prostate ages, and you hold the power to influence it positively. By breaking the two harmful habits of prolonged sitting and poor diet, and replacing them with movement, nutrient-rich foods, stress management, and regular health monitoring, you are investing in many more years of comfort, confidence, and vitality. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like, subscribe to Senior Health Tips for more evidence-based advice tailored to seniors, and share this video with your friends or family who might benefit. Your prostate and your future self will thank you. Stay proactive, stay healthy, and I'll see you in the next video.